love that intro. It just gets my energy pumping. It's just like, oh, it's so amazing. I love it. I just want to dance. It's just awesome. Okay. So anyways, now I will align. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 3 of Sparkle Self-Mastery with Nicole through the Live with the Giants global TV platform. I am just so grateful. Oh my goodness. Okay. So today I'm really going to be talking about the Nicole behind the sparkle. So people that see me, sparkle, spread positivity, abundance, respect, kindness, love everywhere, right? Like all smiles, all glitter and rainbows, all sparkle, right? Some people that see me are like, oh, she's all sparkles and rainbow. She's not real. And that's not true. That's so not true. And that's why I wanted to share my story, because I think it's really, really important that you understand that when I speak about focusing on gratitude and I speak about bringing positivity into your life, I really, really am doing it from a place of integrity, from a place where I have been in the dark depths. I have lived a very interesting life. Let's just say that. So I will say that I am, this is live streaming to 8 different platforms, and I'm trying to handle the comments on my own. So you will see me look down every once in a while or try to see what's going on. I will be aware as much as I can of comments and bring them up and everything. But if I do not mention you or something, it's probably just because I'm overwhelmed in the moment. So Nicole, thank you so much for being here. I love you, Nicole Castillo. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I've got to tell you, Nicole has a heart of gold. She is so supportive of everybody in this platform. We could not do it without her, Nick and Ryan. She is a central key piece. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. And to everybody else watching, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart and my soul, because I am going to literally be bearing my soul to you today by sharing my story. The reason that it's really, really important for me to share my story with you is because everybody has these parts in our story that people can resonate with, that it can inspire them. And I'm hoping that in sharing my story, that if you are in a moment of darkness, that you'll have oh, I remember this, or you'll resonate with something, or you'll see something within you, right? There's just so many things. And everybody really equates my drunk driving accident with me, right? But there's so much more. And I did the interview with Nick and Ryan a year ago, and I did share my story a little bit. But the thing is, I was in a whole different mindset. At that time, I was really still in kind of a victim mentality, because I hadn't really, really, really dived in to the self-mastery that I am in now. So, okay, this is what I'm saying, show it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, and you're also going to see me looking down a couple times probably, because I'm very nervous about sharing all of this. But I think it's important. I think it's something that should be shared. Okay, so like I was saying, people really kind of connect me to the survivor of this awful drunk driving accident, right? Really focusing on gratitude. That's where my sparkle came from. But it really, my being a badass started in childhood. So I had an abusive alcoholic father. This is not a woe is me tale at all. This is me sharing so that you know my soul and where I'm coming from. So I did experience a lot of turmoil in my childhood. A lot more than a lot of people would, or that a lot of people have. And the thing is, a year ago when I was interviewed about that, yes, I was tears, and it was just, it was how could that have happened to me, right? But now I've had this new awareness. I've come to this new paradigm of forgiveness. I've come to this new awareness of what it actually was, which has been so, so powerful. So yes, I had, ups and downs in childhood, but ultimately I had a beautiful, beautiful childhood. I was born in Switzerland. We were in Congo for 6 months, and I played with the monkeys. I have had a life. My childhood was so beautiful in so many ways, and then so dark in so many other ways. But the thing is, because I was in such a victim mentality, anytime I even heard my father's name mentioned, I would have a nervous breakdown. That's where I used to be. And when I even thought about my childhood, I couldn't remember any times of love from my father. I really, really couldn't. And hi, yeah, so I did not know that. Yeah, there's probably some people that are watching that did not realize that this is part of my journey. And that's okay. That's why I'm bearing my soul today, because I really want you to know who I truly am, so you know exactly where I'm coming from when I am trying to inspire you or trying to teach you different self-mastery things and stuff like that. So anyways, so let's get back. So I have been going on this amazing, amazing spiritual journey, inner knowing, inner death, coming to my soul, aligning, recognizing who I truly am. And through this journey, I have come to a whole new level of awareness. I know that what happened to me as a child happened to me because now I have a fire under my ass to make sure that I help people come to the magic and the sparkle within them, so that when they are in those moments, when they could have their power taken away from them, they don't. They stand in their truth and they know that they are always, always protected by them. They have the power within them. It's our power, how we react. And I really, like, I am on fire with helping people step into that magic and knowing their power. Like, this is Gal Gadot right here. I have a signed Gal Gadot poster behind me, framed, because that is the essence of who I am. Love is power. So when you come to really, really love yourself, that is power. And that will take you out of those situations where people are abusing you in any way. So with that being said, now I look back and I'm like, okay, so that lit the fire under my ass. I get that. Like, I was supposed to go through these things to make me so strong so that I could help others through it. But I also came to this new level of forgiveness. In the last year, I came to forgiving my father, but I also came to this beautiful, it wasn't just forgiving him, it was forgiving him as a child. I would actually, like, literally say, I forgive you for not standing up for yourself as a child and falling into this trap and then repeating the pattern with us. I forgive you for, the igniting the 13-year night terrors in me of a wolf eating me alive. Like, I mean, I forgive you. There's so much. And this went on. My parents divorced in 8th grade. But I mean, this stuff went on through high school, through college, and all the way to adult with my father. And so I came to this whole new level of forgiveness. But then the next step was forgiving me. I was like, I forgive you. I forgive you, Nicole, for feeling weak and for feeling trapped. I forgive you, Nicole, for not seeing the magic within you and falling into these things. I forgive you, Nicole. And like, it wasn't like healing my inner child. It was just speaking to my inner child. It was just such a beautiful thing. But it came to this whole new level of forgiveness for me. Like, I went back and back and back and back. I was like, I forgive you, great grandma, for like, like literally, like, forgive. And now I see that I did have a loving father. It's just that alcohol turned him into what he was in those moments. But I did have a loving father. My human memory does not connect to anything that was loving, unfortunately. I know it was there, but for some reason I just can't. So that was one of the main pieces of my story that has really shaped me. It's shaped me, but it does not make me. And that's what I want you guys to really, 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 really take and embrace, right? These trials, these tribulations, these things in our life, they don't make you who you, like, they do not define you. They do not define you. They shape you. They help create you. They do not define you. I am not a woman who experienced, alcoholism and abuse as a child. That is not who I am. I am the badass, self-mastery, sparkle diva that I am now. That is who I am, right? So it's just like, do not let these things define you, because so many people, like, I can't tell, for the last, I got hit by a drunk driver 17 years ago. It's like, oh, she's the girl that got hit by the drunk driver and recovered. And that label was placed upon me, and I allowed it to be placed upon me because I didn't know who I was yet. I didn't really truly align with my soul. I didn't have that clarity yet. And now I do. And that has been so beautiful and so powerful. It has just been absolutely incredible. I feel like I'm going to lose my track if I keep trying to bring up these comments, but I love these beautiful comments. Thank you so much for your support. Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't even tell you what it means to me. So I used to be a huge perfectionist. So I won't say used to be. I think when you're a perfectionist, there's always a little piece, right? You're always kind of doing this little self-sabotage and all this stuff, but you have that awareness, you have the tools to go to help you through it. But my perfectionism started as a child because with going through what I was going through, no one was allowed to know. Nobody was allowed to know. I had to be perfect. I had to be the little perfect child that could not let the school know, that could not let anybody know, right? But that was to protect my mother. That was to protect my mother. So that was fine. And I understand why that happened. But my perfectionism started from a very, very, very young, fragile age. And I was taught not to cry. Like, look, I'm crying now, right? But it's okay. We're supposed to experience our emotions because when we don't experience our emotions, they get stuck and stagnant within us. And that is what manifests pain or disease or negative manifestations in our life, emotional pathologies, physical pathologies, whatever it is. Like when we experience emotions, we need to step into them. We need to be like, what is this triggering? What do I need to put? Like, do I need to journal on this? Should I go to the healing and run something? Should I have my crystals? Like, what should I do? Should I go talk to a friend? Should I punch? Oh my gosh, you guys, now when I experience any kind of frustration or anger of anything, I literally I punch the air. I'm like, punch, 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 kick, 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 punch, punch, punch. And my kids are like, what's going on? I'm like, mommy's working out, girls. Mommy's working out. Like, you just have to get these emotions out. You have to get them out. It is not healthy to have them stuck and stagnant. That's what I do as an emotional resonance clearing practitioner. I help you discover those underlying patterns and get those emotions out and clear them. Lifelong patterns, lifelong things that have been stuck. Like, that's why I am the sparkle badass I am today. Okay. So now, fast forward. So I was brought to America when I was 10, and I lived in Texas, California, Minnesota, Illinois. I started dancing when I was 11. And when I was 12, I was in a Warner Brothers entrepreneur show. I was in 2 dance training videos. My dance career, it took off. I was on the cover of a dance magazine, all sorts of amazing stuff with dance. The reason why I say that is the reason why I'm telling this part of the story is not to toot my own horn or be like, yay, look at me. It's because this was taken away because of my car accident. So in 8th grade, I got a scholarship to Interlochen Dance Academy. And my mom didn't want me to be leaving and living, in like a dorm because it would have started in 9th grade, right? So living in a dorm and stuff. So she didn't let me go. So there was some anger and frustration there that I've cleared too. But I was in the Joffrey Nutcracker with Calvin Kitten, and it turns out that and I just learned this a couple months ago from my mom. I didn't even know this at the time. So I was like a Paula Chanel and a mouse. It was like, the kid roles and stuff. But Calvin Kitten, New York City Ballet, he actually brought people to Minnesota to come and watch me for 3 days because he saw so much potential in my talent. And he told my mom, yes, she's ready. Like in 2 years, move her to New York, and we're going to get her enrolled, and we're going to get her along this path to joining the ballet. Like that was the level of, like, I want you to understand how much my life was dance. I danced from age 12. I danced 6 hours a day. I did my technique in the morning before I went to school. I was picked up from school by sometimes it was my mom, sometimes it was other dance moms. We were taken to the studio. We had half an hour of abs. Then we had technique. Then we did choreography. Then we had an hour for homework. Then we did more dance. Then we went to sleep. Like that was my life was dance, right? But then, I got sucked into, I started modeling. And honestly, with my upbringing, modeling probably wasn't the best option for me, but I loved it because I could express my soul through it a little bit. I had a lot of fun with it. But I did have issues with body dysmorphia. But once again, these are things that happen to me so that I can help others. And actually, after my car accident, modeling brought me back into being able to express my soul because I couldn't dance anymore. So that was like my way of doing that. But at the time of my accident, so I was hit by a drunk driver 17 years ago. And at the time of my accident, I was a Hawaiian Tropics girl. I was negotiating stuff with Levi's. I also was negotiating a contract to be the main choreographer for an up-and-coming rapper. There were so many big time things going on. Even though I had a full-time job, even though I worked at the bars at night, even though I did all this other stuff, I had a boyfriend, which, by the way, broke up with me after my car accident. But like to me at that time, because that was my goal, was to like get out there and make tons of money and all, right? I hadn't gone on the spiritual journey yet, where now I have such bigger goals and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe those were my goals at the time. But with where I was in my life at that time, I was like, yes, this is me. Yes, I'm about to make it big. Yes. And then I got hit by the drunk driver, literally that week, the same week. So not only was I taken from a place of health, I worked out 2 hours a day. As a model, you have to. I worked out 2 hours a day. Like I thought I was in great health, even though I had migraines and IBS and all sorts of other stuff that I ignored, that I like kept numbing with other things, right? Like I wasn't really dealing with the issues. I thought that I went from like this amazing healthy person to now being stuck on a couch. So I'm not going to go into all the drama with the car accident. I will just say that I had tears, fractures, permanent nerve damage to my back, cervical spine strain, triggered a heart condition, all sorts of stuff. So I was on a couch pretty much for 3.5 years after my accident. And I was in so much pain that I could not sleep until my body was too exhausted and it would collapse. And I just want to tell you that so that you can see the level of pain that I experienced, because I want you to see where my mindset went next. So I was secretly severely depressed. Nobody knew where my mind was at that time. I mean, when breathing makes you bawl, but then bawling makes the pain increase even more, and everything that you do makes the pain increase even more. It's like, oh, you can't even imagine. And I'm sure a lot of you can imagine. And that's why I want to just let you know. So 6 months after my car accident, I woke up and I just was called to buying the book, The Secret. And I started my journey of gratitude. I've read that book, and trust me, reading was not easy. With all this pain, I probably reread like one paragraph like 6 times in order to grasp the words. I was just like, I could not. Like the pain, it just created this fog over my brain. And even though I was a very intelligent person, I did not connect to it. Because yes, 6 months after my accident was when I was brought to this book. And for 3.5 years, you guys, even through, like, I'm going to talk about law of attraction and gratitude and everything. For 3.5 years, I was in knife stabbing pain upon pain upon pain, with not 5% less of pain for 3.5 years. But through that, I chose that this was not my life anymore. I chose that there was something more for me. I didn't know what it was. I hadn't accessed the light inside of me. I was not Sparkle Nicole yet. I had none of that yet. It was always in me. It's always been a remembrance of coming to who I am. But I chose, in the midst of the pain, to focus on love, to focus on happiness, to focus on, actually, I kept focusing on me being back on the stage, dance career back, modeling, big time, because at that time, my goals were to make it big, right? So like that was my focus. I was focusing on that. I was focusing on like being madly in love with kids and having this huge career and all this, but I had a focus, okay? I had something that I was focusing on, and I did not allow myself to get sucked into the pain or the drama or the darkness or the depth that kept trying to physically suck me back every single moment of my day with every single breath. I did not allow it to happen because my mind and my heart took over. I chose to call the things into my life that I needed to help me get better. I chose to pay attention to the signs, even though I had no clue what quantum physics was. I had no clue about any of that stuff. I had the littlest bit of stuff from the book The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, but like, no. Honestly, there was nothing like what I have today with the tools that I use today. My self-mastery tools today, holy moly, I wish I had them 17 years ago. Trust me, my life would have been a lot different. But once again, it made me the tough cookie that I am today, where I can really, really help guide people through really deep levels of darkness because I was in that depth of darkness. So for 3.5 years, I was in dire pain. Then probably like 8 more years, I was in like normal pain, like maybe like an 8 or 9 out of 10. I had a TENS unit, and I literally, like, I wore like a huge pager on my waist. It looked like, it was this big, right? And I was so stubborn, you guys. Even during the 3.5 years, I would try to walk like a block, and then I'd have to call my mom, and she'd have to come get me and bring me back. And I was so blessed. Oh my gosh, my mom is like my rock. I love my mom so much. My mom like gave me an apartment. So after my car accident, I still lived in Chicago. I had a place downtown. But then 6 months after my accident, lo and behold, when I found the book and everything, that's when I embraced, yes, I'm willing to move home. I'm willing to do what it takes to get better. I'm willing to do this. I'm not going to be that stubborn person anymore. Yeah, right. Stubbornness is like never going to come out of me because I believe there's strength in it. But as long as you're aware and you're aware of how it's affecting others, I think that's where stubbornness can be like good or bad. But so I was in pain for 3.5 years, really, really, like, probably, like, I'm not kidding, like an 18 out of 10, like, couldn't function. But I did function. I went back to school. I've always been a tough cookie, and that's because I was made a tough cookie from my childhood. I think, like, when I chose this journey, it was just like, bring it all to me and make me strong so I can help everybody, right? That's once again overnourishing others, not nourishing yourself, which I no longer do. Now I nourish others from a place of true alignment and love. I can help others. I can heal others. I can assist them on their journey, but become stronger through it. I'm no longer depleted by it. It's just this beautiful, beautiful awareness and process and alignment with my divine life purpose that I've come to. So then I was in pain for 8 years. And then after that, probably like 5 years of really random. Like, I could pick up a crystal and I would be in knife stabbing pain for 2 weeks. Or I could go out dancing with my friends and I was fine. Like, it made no sense. With permanent nerve damage, it made no sense. So like a lot of people like wouldn't even know that I was in pain. Like we'd be out having fun, and then I'd be like, you guys, I have to go sit down. And then I'm like, oh, and they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, it's my back. They're like, what do you mean your back? Like, what's going on? The people that didn't know me, right? Because I was always like, hi guys, even through the pain, because I could do it. Because why? Because I had to put on this face of being perfect ever since I was a little kid, because I was not allowed to admit what was happening, but that was in order to protect my loved one. I'm fine with it. I know that it was there for a reason. I love my mommy so much, and I understand, and we're good. But I could put on a smile no matter what. And trust me, that happened with model. That really helped with modeling. Like when you're freezing cold outside and you have a bikini on, and they're like, okay, smile. It's like, I'm freezing, but I'm going to do it. Like, I was so good at putting on that mask. So when I was in pain, and then when there was a situation that somebody needed me not to be in pain, then guess what? My pain didn't exist. That's how strong I was. And that's how fake I was, honestly. I am going to admit that. Like I said, putting on a face. I no longer do that. I will cry in front of you. I will scream in front of you. I will do whatever needs to be done, because it needs to happen. Emotions need to get out there. And having them deep down inside is the most dangerous thing that you can do to yourself. I will say that. So now let's fast forward. And like I said, I did take notes because this is my soul that I am bearing. So then about 2 years ago is when I really came into, oh, hello. That was interesting. I really came into starting my spiritual journey, starting to spiritually awaken. And my accident should have awoken me, but it didn't. My accident, I started the path of gratitude, but I used it every once in a while, and I used it for pain, but I didn't use it for other things. I didn't really had that tool where I used it for, actually, that's not true. I used it to manifest my children after being told that I wouldn't be able to have kids. There's so many other things about my story that I'm not going to really deep dive into, but I didn't use it in the way that I use it now, that I use it with the actual quantum field. Like before I was like, oh yeah, but what you think you bring about, and, law of attraction, and focus on this and tap into the emotion and blah, blah, blah. It was like, do step 1, 2, and 3. But I didn't have the energy and the intention behind it and the understanding and the awareness. And that is what has made the difference for me. And so now it's like you have somebody who knows law of attraction, knows gratitude, knows how to manifest things in their life. And then you add in a quantum frequency energy healing device that works with the quantum field. That makes magic. That creates magic. It is this thing, the Healy, is the most amazing thing. Anyways, so I went from like using gratitude there, and now I really like have these tools which just really, really increase it. But so when I started my spiritual journey, I didn't even know what chakras were. I didn't even know what was out there, what was available, what modalities existed. However, when the world went into the state of darkness, I was like, I have a story, and I think that my story, sharing my soul, like, I think it can help people. And so I started doing Facebook Lives and just speaking a little bit about, like, putting on a smile in the morning, focusing on something that you want to be grateful for and things like that. And I had 500, 600 followers, and that was cool. But what really, really was the key that, like, this is what I meant to do, is when somebody reached out to me and they were like, Nicole, I couldn't even get out of bed in the morning until I heard you speak. And for me, that individual, she is so strong. I would have never thought that she would ever have had those thoughts. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And there's just this little light inside of me started growing. This little baby light. Like, now it's like, woo, here I am, right? But this little light started growing, and I'm like, oh, this is what I meant to do. I meant to help people. I meant to connect to people. Yes. But at that time, I still hadn't stepped into getting out of the perfectionist mindset, getting out of over nourishing others and not nourishing myself. That's where 5-element theory came in. Holy moly, did that change my world. So I started speaking. I did podcasts. Like, I was just like, oh, I love this. I'm very aligned to this. And then I was brought to the Healy. And it was so cool because I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know it existed. I truly believe that I manifested this. And I know so many people that use this feel the same way, because I wish I had this 17 years ago, because, oh my goodness gracious. I'm not going to go into everything, but I have been completely pain-free for over a year now. Completely pain-free, guys. I have had chronic migraines my whole life. I am completely migraine-free for 18 months because of this baby, and so much more. But that's my personal experience. Everybody has their own individual bioenergetic field. Everybody has their own imbalance. But if it wasn't for the Healy, I would not be the badass emotional resonance clearing practitioner I am today, who helps people find and come to the remembrance of the magic within them, the sparkle within them, the self-mastery and the self-healing capability that is within them, which is exactly what I do now. And that is exactly what I've always been meant to do. So I was brought to the Healy, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I started using it, and then I saw the effects, right? But then I got introduced to this beautiful community of people. And that has been life-changing for me. This community of, when you are surrounded, just like the giants, when you are surrounded with beautiful souls who have this mission of changing 100 million people's lives, who have this mission with helping people step into their limitless potential. When you have this community, magical things happen. And so I was drawn to specific people. I started my spiritual journey, and my spiritual journey started with my friend Val Cripps, and she does soul activation portraits, and she does light language. She connects to your spirit guides, and she will show you what your soul looks like. And when she did mine, it was love. Love was my center. Love was my soul. Love was everything. And I was like, yes, 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 yes. And I'm like, and the thing is, the universe, God, divine, however you want to say it, because my love was so strong, that was my center. It's like the universe was throwing everything at me that they could so that I wouldn't be in love, because love is my power. Just like Wonder Woman. Love is my power. Love is the strongest power there is. I did a whole post about this. How much does she change? What do you mean by how much does she change? Oh, how much does she charge? Sorry. I'm going to put her information below, and I'm going to put Maria Portis and all the other people I'm about to speak about. So yes, I will put that below. I'm not sure exactly. That's why I don't want to answer that right now. But so I discovered that love was my center, and that was my first step in, right? And then I got introduced to Maria Portis through the Healy once again. And I discovered my divine life purpose, my actual divine activation codes that are within me. I am here to empower people to their magic within them. I am here to empower people to their self-mastery, self-healing capabilities so that they realize their power with every single bit of their essence, and they can stand in their truth, and they use that as guidance and alignment in everything that they do. And then they can accomplish their divine life purpose. That's what I am here to do. So when I started going into that with Maria Portis, with her divine life purpose sessions, like it was like, woo! It was, the light bulb went off. I was just like, yes, that's it. Yes, love and empowerment. That is me. Yes, right? And that's when I started getting downloads. I just started getting all these downloads about what I'm supposed to do, downloads about how I'm supposed to do this in this business, downloads about, oh, the sparkle thing, it needs to be bigger in the world. You need to have bracelets. You need to have shirts. You need to do this. You need to start doing children's meditations. You need to do this. You need to do that. And it's just like, once you listen to those downloads, once you listen to your soul and your heart and you're aligned, things start coming into your life. When you start vibrating on that higher frequency, when you're on that higher consciousness, and then you're still stepping into the ability that law of attraction and focusing on positivity and gratitude brings into your life, you can't imagine, because now you see me here, right? A year ago, I was like, it was top of the world when I was invited to be on a podcast, and now I have my own. Like that is what happens when you step into the magic within you, and you're so secure in who you are, and you know your true life's path, and you know your true authentic self. And that is what emotional resonance clearing brought to me. So through Healy, I met Leah Steele and Michelle Patrick. They are the co-creators of emotional resonance clearing. Through Leah, I stepped into wealth consciousness repatterning. This is where you clear the conditioning 30 generations back on both sides, maternal and paternal. You activate your chakra 1st through 13th and 1st through 13th dimension. It is beyond powerful. It brings you into true sovereignty. It brings you into drawing in abundance in every single aspect in your life. And wealth is not, and she also says this, wealth is not just financial. Wealth is health plus finance, plus love, plus feeling ready. I mean, it's everything that you could ever want. Like the universe has so much to give you. You just need to come into being worthy and deserving of it. So I am an apprentice under her right now. So I'm becoming a wealth alchemy practitioner soon, hopefully. But then I'm also an emotional resonance clearing practitioner. And that has to do with 5-element theory. And it has to do with neurolinguistic programming and naturopathic herbal support and energy meridian clearing. Just so much. It's just so, so, so beautiful. But I literally, every time I get off a session with somebody, I cry. I just did a post about this. I do. I'm just, me going through the life transformation that brought to me as a student, and now being a practitioner of it, and knowing the changes that are going to happen in my clients' lives. I'm so, 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 so grateful. And so I am so, so, so grateful for my childhood. I am so, so, so grateful for the drunk driving accident. I really am. It saved my life. And actually, it really, honestly did save my life, because at the time of my accident, I told you everything that was going on, but I was like keeping myself alive by 5-hour energy shots. I worked. I had a full-time job. I was modeling. I had a boyfriend. I partied. I didn't drink and I didn't do drugs and all that stuff, but like I was at like almost every single party there was. And then there was like the modeling parties, like you were actually assigned to like be seen at these things, right? So I literally was never taking a moment to smell the roses. Had I continued on that path, there's no way that I would be the complete person that you see today. There's no way that I would have stepped into sparkle. Like I probably would have been happy in a different way, a false way that I wouldn't, but my soul wouldn't have been happy. Like thank God all those things happened to take me off that path, that I had been focused on since a child. Everybody wants to be like that big movie star on the screen. As a child, everybody wants to be that big movie star on the screen and everything. And it's like, no, now I want to be happy and feel full and just filled with love. And because of that, I spread that to others. And because of that, I help guide others. And because of that, I help people step into their magic and their potential, their limitless truth, their integrity, so that they can live a life that they are lit on fire about. So I am so grateful for every single step. And I always say that stepping into fear is the bridge to your next level. So in all these instances, even as a child, when I was going through all that, I didn't give up. And then obviously after my car accident, I definitely didn't give up. I was like, nope, this is not my life. Nope. And then I guess I will get into it a little bit. I had severe invasive endometriosis. I mean, I was brought to the ground crying and screaming in a little ball. Like, it was really, really bad. And when my doctor went in to discover what was happening, they actually brought me into emergency surgery, and it had actually twisted and turned my colon and extended to my liver. And it would have killed me had I gone like 1 or 2 more weeks. Yeah. So sorry, I know I'm trying to bring up comments, but it's like, so I'm getting like so passionate about everything. And then I'm like, no, I need to pay attention to you guys too. I love you. I'm so grateful you're here. But so I had surgery. I had it all removed. But I was told it's probably going to be very, very difficult, if not impossible, for you to have children. Because I also had polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I had a couple other things. And I met with some people, and I was very upset about that. And then one of my friends, Josette, she brought me to a gong therapy session. And this should have also been a spiritual awakening, but it was not. For some reason, it was not. But everything happens in divine timing. So for some reason, my spiritual awakening was supposed to happen 2 years ago. So, but she took me to a gong therapy session. And I didn't even know what gongs were. Now I have my own. You know what? Next episode, when Amy's on, by the way, Amy, my twin flame, my bestie, my gorgeous soul sister, she is going to be on next week. I'm so excited. We will do the gongs because I actually have my own now. But this was a Tibetan gong therapy session. And what happens with it is they use these beautiful, huge gongs that have been part of these sessions, these healing sessions all over the world. They carry them around. And so they actually tap into specific energies depending on where the moon is or the planets or whatever it is. And that day it was one where you can ask the universe a question. And I asked the universe if I was going to have children. And I was shown a picture, an image of me walking with a little, probably 2-year-old little girl holding her hand, little blonde and brown curly hair. And that is my Adriana. I have 2 little girls, Victoria and Adriana. And that is my Adriana. And the moment I saw that, the moment I had that image, I'm not kidding. Every single breath from that moment on was, I'm so grateful for my beautiful, happy, healthy, safe, and loved children. That was it. Once I had that vision with my eyes, not just my mind, once I had that vision, I believed. And that's the thing, is our minds are so powerful. Did you know that when you watch a show, let's say SVU or something like that, when you watch somebody being hurt and you take in that emotion, your brain actually can't tell the difference and your body experiences that trauma. So the reason I'm saying that is not to warn you off of SVU, don't worry. When you have that awareness, then you can be like, oh, I'm watching this as a fake show, whatever, right? But the reason I'm saying that is because our minds are so powerful. So when you connect to something that you desire and want to bring into your life, but you truly believe it and you truly experience the emotions, that brings it to that same thing. Your body's going to experience it. And when your body experiences it, it sends a message out to the universe. This is who I am. This is what I'm drawing to me. You go halfway, the universe goes the other half. That's when you connect to the quantum. And that's when I connect to this. And then I'm like, okay, I'm aligned up with this. I'm focused on this. And now I'm going to run the Healy and I'm going to see where this is going to bring me. Like that. And you guys, the Healy is just, it's part of me. So I'm always probably going to have it on me, or I'll vibrate it to you guys if you're interested. That would be fun. But like, recognize the power that you have within you. Take this moment and just recognize and see that and be like, yes, I can make anything I want in my life happen. And there's tools out there to bring you to that. And that's one of the reasons why I was so excited about Sparkle Self Mastery with Nicole. This show, I was like, oh my gosh, I can really shine the light on so many of my friends that are doing these amazing things in the world that people don't know exist. Like, there are so many beautiful modalities that we can step into there. And the thing is, when people share their soul, they share their heart, they share their story, there could be one sentence that changes your life. And I'm not kidding, like truly changes your life. I will never forget when my friend Sophia Richardson, I was dating like this guy that I thought was on top of the world, right? Like put him up on this pedestal and everything. And she was like, stop it. She's like, the only reason you're putting him on that pedestal is because you have that within you. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you wouldn't be able to see that he's awesome unless you were awesome. You wouldn't be able to see that he's intelligent unless you were intelligent. You wouldn't be able to see that, like, oh my gosh, look at him, unless you were like, oh my gosh, look at me. You wouldn't be able to see anything in him unless it was in you. And that changed my life. I'm not kidding. That changed my dating history. That changed my dating life. That changed everything. I was no longer, here I was like this little perfectionist, needed to be perfect, right? Couldn't be myself, yet saw these people on like these pedestals. Never thought I could be up there with them. Never, ever dreamed it. Can you imagine trying to date with that kind of mentality? Like, it was not fun. It was not cool. It was not good. Whew. Now I'm with my amazing husband, Pat, and I love him so much. And we have these two beautiful children. But I also manifested that, but I'm not going to go into all of that. I actually want to share with you guys. Let me see if it can kill you. Oh, yes. Yeah. Invasive endometriosis. Yes. When it goes all the way up, it's not supposed to. It was actually so invasive that they put me on cancer treatment drugs afterwards. It was really, really bad. Can't really explain. I mean, honestly, before I worked with the Healy and everything, if you looked in the dictionary and was like medical imbalance in every single way, that was me. I had TMJ, polycystic ovarian syndrome, invasive endometriosis. I had the migraines. I had IBS. I had fibromyalgia. I had the permanent nerve damage. I had neurocardiogenic syncope syndrome. I had, like, it goes on and on and on and on. It's because I had these traumas from childhood that I didn't heal. Once I started healing the traumas, discovering what they were, working with the quantum, with the Healy, really digging into the root cause, that's when everything started clearing up. And now I am the person who is just like so aligned. And I am 40 years old and I am healthier and happier than I have ever been. I am healthier than I was at age 20. And it's because of my work with 5-element theory, quantum frequencies, awareness, diving in and knowing who I am and never stopping. I will never stop on this journey of self-mastery. And with 5-element theory, so there's 5 elements. So 5-element theory is based on 4,000-year-old Taoist theory that there are 5 elements that the universe are made up of: fire, earth, metal, water, wood. And we have these elements within us. And I'm just going to touch on this a little bit because it really has to do with like how much I dived into my traumas and my underlying patterns. But through this work, there's superpowers. Each element is connected to a certain spirit. Fire is Shen, earth is Yi, metal is Po, water is Ji, and wood is Hun. And these superpowers are knowing your true authentic self, cultivating your true life's path, knowing what's for you and what's not for you, being able to let go, be in the preciousness of the moment, tap into your animal instinct, true wisdom, innate wisdom, believe that the seeds that you planted are going to grow, knowing your true life's path in every single moment, and more. Like the work that I do with people, that's what I bring people to. Like, it's so powerful and masterful and amazing. Yeah. But that's why I want to share this with you. Like, that's why the Sparkle Self Mastery, it's just everything about self-mastery, because Sparkle Self Mastery is mastery of self. And it's mastery of self any way that you choose it to be. If it's, today I'm going to pick up a book. Instead of watching Netflix, I'm going to pick up a book. Where's this going to take me? And let those moments take you. Really, really pay attention to the signs around you. Like this whole path has really brought me to living it with intention. That's really what it's brought me, is living with intention. Now, when I'm frustrated and I go for the chocolate covered vegan ginger candy, when I'm really frustrated, instead of going for that piece of candy, I'll be like, no, why am I going for that piece of candy? Is this because I want it? If it's because I want it, then heck yes, I'm having it. Is it because I'm frustrated because of the tantrum that my daughter just had? Then I need to dive in and I need to see what the underlying patterns are and I need to clear this. Or I need to go to my healing and I need to run balance or relax. Or I need to do boost positive thinking or something like that. It's really, truly, truly living with intention. And then now it's like when I work out, and I have not worked out in a long time. I actually did Cosmic Kids yoga with my daughter the other day and I thought I was going to die. I was like, like, I am so out of shape, you guys. I need to get back in shape. But like now when I do Cosmic Kids yoga or I work out, I nourish my kidneys because I know that when you work out too much, you could deplete your kidneys and your kidneys are so important. So I'll have seaweed. I'll have seaweed after I work out instead of like a protein bar. And I have that awareness. I live with intention in every single moment now, which is just like so powerful. So one of my favorite self-mastery hacks is, this is not a normal glass of coconut water. This is coconut water with an entire lime squeezed into it. What it does is it cleans your blood. It is incredible. Plus it tastes like amazing. I think I'm slightly addicted to lime. I just love lime. I put lime juice in everything and on everything. I just love lime. But also that gives you awareness because then you're like, lime is a sour. And then you look at like what elements connect and it's like, oh, is there an imbalance there? Is that why I'm going to that so much? But I've already done that and I've discovered that no, I just like the flavor of lime. Another self-mastery hack that I love. And by the way, the coconut water with the lime, the stuff I'm about to show you right now, that is all my beautiful, beautiful friend, Michelle Patrick, who I had on the show as my first guest ever because she really, really ignited my love of self-mastery. So she introduced me to these. So this is lion's mane. And so these are mushroom tonics because there are so many medicinal mushrooms, and I'm not talking about the psychedelic ones. There's so many medicinal mushrooms that are so, so good for you. So lion's mane actually helps you with mental clarity, stimulates your cranial stimulation. Like it's just awesome. So if you feel kind of like foggy headed and you're like, oh, I really need, I need to just get on the ball. Like I just put some lion's mane in my oatmeal. Actually, I was talking to my friend the other day about this. It's hilarious. But first, okay, so cordyceps is great for your immune system. It's great for balancing and stuff. Chaga, like I'll put the link to I love this company. It's called Life Cycle. I'll put the link to that. But yeah, so I was talking to my friend the other day about my oatmeal. I was like, it's so funny because my girls, when they see me eat my oatmeal, they're like, ew, mom, what is that? You know what color my oatmeal is? Black. Because actually I'll put the link to it. It has 92 different adaptogens in it. I have this powder that I put in that has 92 different adaptogens. It even has the mushrooms. It has ashwagandha. It has like all sorts of stuff in it. Then I put the 4-sigmatic mushroom powder, which has a compilation of like 10 different mushrooms. Then I put flaxseed and chia seeds. Not kidding, guys, it's black. Then I put cinnamon on top of that because cinnamon's so good for you. I put turmeric in. Then I have a ginger turmeric honey, organic honey, that I put in there as well. And I mix it all up, and that is my oatmeal. And you guys, it tastes like heaven. I love it. I love it so much. It looks so disgusting, but I love it. Okay, so another one of my self-mastery hacks, I call it I've already said this word so many times. I call it the I Am Kick-Ass Journal. Okay, so I want you guys, whenever you are with a client and you completely change their life, or whenever you're just having that day and you're on fire, I want you to go and write it down. And I want you to start the page saying, I am kick-ass and this is why. And then list exactly what happened and write down the emotion you're tapping into. And write down anything that you see about it. What has this told you about yourself, right? so that when you're in those moments where you kind of just, you're in a funk, it's been that gray kind of day, right? You pick up your I Am Kick-Ass journal. And I know my friend Tracy's like, you need to make that an actual journal. And I'm like, yeah, after I develop my website, do my blog, finish these other 2 books that we're collaborating on, do all this other stuff, and maybe I'll do that. No, I actually am going to be probably creating the journal. We'll see. But I want you to go to this journal, and it's just going to really remind you of how amazing, amazing, amazing you are, because you are. Every single one of you, every single person on this planet is so magical, so powerful, so amazing, so beautiful. And you all have unique individual gifts to bring to people. And some of you have a tribe of 100 million. And some of you have a tribe of 10. And some of you have a tribe of 1. Who cares? You are here for a purpose, and you are here to ignite your frequency in somebody else. We each have an individual frequency. I am the sparkle badass frequency. I'm actually going to maybe have that created, because the Healy actually comes with custom frequencies that you can have made specifically for you too, which is really cool, which I have so many of those. And oh, warning, by the way, do not open your email before you're about to go live. I was getting ready for the show and I opened this email and I was just like, what? Like the situation that I have to take care of, which I'm going to take care of as soon as I get off of this. But like, it just took me into the wrong energy. I was like, no. So that's why, like, I'm running coherence. Coherence aligns your mind, body, and soul with what you want to accomplish in your day. And my intention and what I wanted to accomplish from coming on, sharing my soul, sharing my story was literally like, please, please help me know the words to say to reach the right people, to help people when they're in their moment of darkness. And it doesn't even need to be a moment of darkness. It could just be this little blip of gray. Like, let me say something that inspires them. Let me say something that brings them to their next level. That was my intention with the show today. And your intention and your energy is important in everything that you do. That's another self-mastery hack that I have. Every time I go live, every time I even comment, and I'm not kidding, commenting, you are adding your energy into that comment. Your unique vibrational frequency matters. And when you connect to somebody, when you comment, it matters. And your intention behind it matters. So if you have a focus and you are constantly looking at this focus, connect to that before you go live, before you comment, before you post. Connect to it before you create. I am in the middle of designing my website with my website designer right now. And I'm so excited. And my blog and like things are happening. But every single time before I get on a phone call, before I even write down my buckets and my ideas and all this stuff, I'm always aligning and focusing on my true purpose of helping people come to the self-mastery and self-healing capabilities within them, helping them see the magic and the power so that they are never, ever stuck. That is my power. That is my purpose. I never want somebody to feel like they're stuck. I never want somebody to feel like they don't have an option. I want them to know the answer is within them at all times. That is me. And it's funny, recently I was like, oh, should I change my name to like self-mastery or root cause guru? Because like being an emotional resonance clearing practitioner, I help you like really dig in and find the root cause and the main imbalance, like all these emotional and physical pathologies that are coming up. And then I'm like, and with the Healy, like it works on the root cause and the main imbalance in your being. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be like Sparkle Self-Mastery. Maybe I should be like root cause guru. Like it just came to me the other day and I was like, oh, that's so cute. I don't know. I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope that you found this helpful. And one more thing I want to show you for my self-mastery tips and tricks, because I really want to thank you for taking your time. Your time is one of your most valued commodities and you're spending it with me. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for that. So as you know, stress is a huge thing. Stress can lead to so many different imbalances. Stress can lead to so many different dis-eases, right? Like it's just not a good thing. So I'm going to show you how to stimulate your vagus nerve. So you can do it with a gua sha, which is, I didn't bring one down. I'll just use this hair clip. This is a real me. I'm goofy, you guys. I'm so goofy and fun and woo! Okay, so the vagus nerve is going to be behind. Can you see? Which way do I go? I'm not used to this. Okay, so it's going to be behind your ear. You can do it with your finger too. You're just going to rub. So it's better with like a gua sha or a crystal or something that you can really focus on. Ouch, that hurts. I'm not doing that. I'll use my Lemurian quartz. Okay, so you're going to rub behind there. And so the vagus nerve is responsible for the parasympathetic nervous system, and that is responsible for your stress, triggering stress. Okay, and then you kind of just take it down your neck. So you're going to rub behind your ears, probably for about 10 seconds. And trust me, when you do this with a gua sha stone, oh, and then just rub it, take it down your neck, and then you rub down here. And anytime you feel stressed or overwhelmed, oh my goodness, this is magic. This is incredible. All right, so those are my self-mastery tips and tricks for today. However, every single episode, I will have new ones for you, and I can't wait until I've done all mine and I can discover more and we can grow this library of self-mastery tips and tricks together, right? Like, it's so much fun. And I'm actually creating an entire show all about anti-aging, holistic anti-aging. There's going to be gua sha, there's going to be Kundalini yoga, there's going to be all sorts of stuff. I'm going to be really focusing, probably like once a month, I'll do a show like this where it's just like focusing on one topic and like, woo, let's just go for it. So like I kind of announced earlier, I am so excited about next week's guest, my beautiful soul sister, twin flame, bestie, Amy Bingham. I cannot wait to dive into her story. I cannot wait. You guys, there's going to be so much laughter and funniness and craziness, and I just can't wait. But she is an inspirational powerhouse. When you hear her story, when you hear how truly aligned she is to her soul and how she listened to these callings. She listened to, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to, I'm not going to give it away. Sorry. I just love her so much. I got to toot her horn. I love her. So she's coming. She's going to be on with us next week. And I can't wait. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my soul. I truly, truly appreciate everybody here for your support, for your beautiful, beautiful comments, for your time. I love you so, so, so much. And I truly mean that. I really, really mean that. So sparkle, spread positivity, abundance, respect, kindness, love everywhere. I love you guys so much. Go on and have an amazing, amazing weekend. Don't forget to be intentional. When you notice those moments, be like, I'm in charge. How am I going to respond to this, right? You are the master. You're the creator. Self-mastery, self-healing, it's in you. All right. Love you guys. Bye.